Hi everyone, and welcome to the Veeam Universal Licensing Overview webinar. Thank you for taking the time to join us. My name is Natasha Vesely, and I'm the Channel BDM for Renewals for ANZ, and I'm accompanied by my colleague Edwin Chow, who's the Channel BDM for Asia. He'll support me in answering the questions. Let's go ahead and jump right into the agenda. First, we're going to talk about how the market has taken a shift in the industry. Then we'll why you should consider portable licensing, the value of portability, and finally cover off the future options for you as a current Veeam customer or partner. We will then conclude today's session with a Q&A session. We will tackle your questions. If you don't receive an answer by the end of today, rest assured one will be provided to you via email. As many of you are aware, the market has shifted to standardized data protection, supporting workload mobility and complete data protection for cloud, virtual, physical, NAS, and beyond. It is no secret that the subscription model is predominant in the software industry. The debate on whether the software industry is moving or has moved from a traditional license and maintenance model to a subscription-based model is long over. Subscription has become an integral component of our daily lives, changing the way we consume media and purchase goods. The flexibility offered by this model is paramount, and the portability of these licenses have become the new norm. The results on the screen show a massive change in IT delivery. In fact, only 4% of organizations surveyed in the Veeam Data Protection Report of 2021 were not anticipating any significant changes in 2021. In the first months of the pandemic, 96% of organizations increased their usage of cloud services, 31% significantly. This likely came as a result of the remote workers using SaaS-based collaboration services and the increased challenge for IT to maintain the on-premise physical operations. This trend will continue, with most organizations planning to add more cloud services and cloud usage. As organizations modernize their IT services, we see a steady growth in cloud-based data protection. The results also show a growth in BaaS, Backup Protection as a Service, with an 11% estimated increase through 2021 alone. And this is still trending up, up, and up. 81% of backups will be cloud-based in the next 2 years. Self-managed backup using native services will stagnate, with an average of 1% increase per year. The startling result here is that the massive decline of on-premise tool usage expected to be down over 50% from the current actuals within 2 years. The effect of modernizing IT strategy cannot be ignored. And as organizations adopt cloud-native approaches faster, it is becoming increasingly apparent that they'll need to update their data protection platforms to support them. Typically, disaster recovery follows backup modernization trends, being tightly tied to the platforms, which remains the case here. With the growth of cloud-based modern data protection, the results also show a swing of 28% through to 2023 to disaster recovery as a service first. The future of DR is indeed cloudy. 51% of all DR will be cloud-based by 2023. When looking at a range of production IT deployment options available today, traditional perpetual license models haven't been able to keep up. Perpetual model data protection licensing can quickly become too complicated, costly, and lack the flexibility to meet the demands of today's enterprise requirements. Due to compliance and/or ransomware exposure, IT can be limited in its deployment options if its data protection layer is too inflexible, costly, or complicated to manage and deploy across the whole IT landscape. This can lead customers to buying point solutions to protect different environments. This can quickly become unmanageable by the central IT team, and the IT budgets rarely increase at the same rate as the IT requirements do. Veeam Solutions actually has a solution for this, our Veeam Universal Licensing. Looking at the slide, we can see a notable shift. So there's a huge variety of examples. Salesforce launched a SaaS-only offering in 1999. Adobe transitioned to subscription licensing in 2012. Microsoft completed the subscription shift for Office 365. And Atlassian announced the end of sale for on-premise licensing in 2020. Not only are providers shifting, so are customer preferences. 73% of all organizations chose subscription software for some or all of their software, and global spending on the software subscription is projected to grow 33% over the next few years. Now, if we look specifically into the backup and replication industry, the subscription offerings constitute the vast majority of the available options for the enterprise backup vendors. Even appliance-based backup solutions are frequently offered through the subscription model. Veeam Universal Licensing, or VUL, is offered by a subscription and is licensed per workload. Further into the slide, we'll deep dive into what are these workloads and how they can be licensed. So moving on to the next topic, why subscription licensing? So let's talk about the Veeam solution, the Veeam Universal Licensing. Veeam's product design philosophy centers around four main principles: simplicity, flexibility, reliability, and power. These principles drive us to build solutions that are easy to use, easy to administer, and are flexible enough to work with any hardware or cloud platform customers use. This is in stark contrast to alternative solutions that require their full platforms, they're even the simplest of solutions. So why is it simple? It's easy to use and cost-effective with immediate return on investment. It's simple to deploy, easy to manage, and customized to you. Our single platform brings you all the data together in a single place, so you can easily put it to work. Built-in intelligence enables actionable insight diagnostics and automated remediation to effectively respond to any unexpected event. Its scalable architecture grows as you do, with no hardware or software limitations or wasted resources. Why is it flexible? It's any platform, any storage, or any cloud. Software-defined, hardware-agnostic, and cloud-ready, giving you the choice to run Veeam software however you want, across the data center, edge, and cloud. Integrate and automate using Veeam's APIs and policy-driven backup lifestyle management. You can choose the storage and cloud options with no vendor lock-in and no cloud tax. And portable universal licensing. Your data is also 100% portable across any systems and always recoverable, with no reliance on proprietary hardware or continual licensing. Reliability means that you have the confidence that your data is protected and always available. Veeam software simply just works. No matter how many users, servers, apps, or terabytes, Veeam can scale out to meet the challenge. Our proven strategy showcases our investment in improving customer experience through continuous research and development, driving Veeam to the #1 backup solution for more than 10 years. Exceeding our RTOs and RPO objectives, our platform ensures the highest data certainty, improving the confidence and reliability of backup and recovery by 78%. And Veeam provides 100% verified guarantee, giving you peace of mind. Last but not least, powerful. Fast, secure, scalable, and future-proof for the enterprise. Comprehensive support for cloud, virtual, SaaS, Kubernetes, and physical platforms supporting modern applications and databases. Lightning-fast recoveries using Veeam patented instant recovery. It's scalable to ensure protection for the largest backup needs. You can create, test, and orchestrate your disaster recovery strategy, including documentation for audits and compliance, secure immutable storage options for bulletproof ransomware protection, and achieve greater efficiencies through intelligent policy-driven backup lifestyle automation, advanced data reuse capabilities, and an overall reduction in data loss and downtime. The universal licensing is licensed per workload. So let's have a look at all these workloads. A powerful solution to cover all your critical data on any supported workloads. Broad workload coverage, as you can see. It's portable across the cloud, virtual, physical infrastructure. It has full functionality, which we'll go into in the next slide, and comes with production support, 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. On the right-hand side, you can see some of the examples of cloud: AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, IBM, Kubernetes, to virtual, VMware, Microsoft Hyper-V, Nutanix, as well as Red Hat, physical, Windows, Linux, Mac, Unix, and NAS. Then moving on to your apps, Microsoft, Oracle, SAP, SQL, and Kubernetes. And finally, SaaS, Microsoft 365, Teams, and our newly launched Veeam Backup for Salesforce. It's also important here to note that the agent licenses, which people previously bought, have been replaced by the Veeam Universal Licensing, but still has the same functionality for the physical workloads. In the previous slide, I mentioned the full functionality. So what do we mean by this? Immutable backups. You can write ransomware hardened backups on-premise or in the cloud. We have IaaS and PaaS workloads to protect your critical workloads residing in the cloud. Data and backup testing automation. Veeam does ensure that the backups are uncorrupted and ready to recover to production without any IT staff intervention. We have automatic tiering, where data is automatically moved between the storage tiers based on preset retention policies that eliminates the need for IT staff to devote time to this repetitive task. We offer a scale-out backup repository, which simplifies the management of multiple storage repositories on-premise or in the cloud, disk, NAS, object storage, cloud, cold storage, tape, and more. And we offer continuous data protection, ultra-low recovery point objectives on your most critical workloads, or snapshots, backups, and replicas. It's your choice. And a lot more is coming out in version 12. Shows how we calculate the workloads. As you can see, the majority of the workloads is a one-for-one, one workload for one instance. However, with the exception of 3 workstations equates to 1 instance. You simply add up the number of instances to get the total number that you will require on the Veeam Universal Licensing. So let's look at the future options and beyond for sockets. So we often get asked, why are we going end of sale for sockets? And this is simply to help customers maximize their Veeam experience. We help customers standardize their data protection across all their workloads and all their environments, especially in the face of critical threats like ransomware. It also allows us to accelerate the release cycles to ensure the breadth of features support across the new workloads are entitled exclusively with the Veeam Universal Licensing, and the ability to maintain backup license portability as rapid movements of workloads lifting and shifting from on-premise to the cloud in a way that sockets can't actually support. So for current Veeam customers, what's actually changed? For backup and replication and the Veeam Availability Suite, which is backup and replication and Veeam One, effective the 1st of July this year, per socket license sales have stopped to net new customers for backup essentials, backup replication, and Veeam Availability Suite. The socket sales have also ended for existing customers on backup essentials. However, existing customers of backup and replication and Veeam Availability Suite can continue buying per socket licenses of the edition they currently own or Enterprise Plus until the 31st of December this year. So their options for these customers are threefold. One, either they can stay on the current sockets and continue to renew as they've always done. And if they're looking at expanding their per socket licenses, they can do so at the same edition or Enterprise Plus until the 31st. Or they can mix in Veeam Universal Licensing, so purchase subscription licensing for all the other non-vSphere or Hyper-V workloads at a 20% discount, which we'll cover off later down the track, until the 31st of December. And they can manage them all together in a single console. The third option for these customers is migrate all the workloads to Veeam Universal Licensing, still using the investment they have in the software and migrating them from the perpetual to the subscription to cover all their workloads. The other type of customers we've got is the Veeam Essentials customers. The Essentials is a small to medium business bundle, which is limited to either 6 sockets or 50 instances. So for these customers, they can either stay in mix, so continue renewing the existing per socket license and maintenance as they have before, purchase Veeam Backup and Replication or Veeam Availability Suite VAL for all other non-VMware or Hyper-V workloads, again at that discount, or they can look at migrating them, and we've got a special tool called Express Migration, which will transition them to the fully functional solutions at a discounted rate if they do that before the 1st of January 2023. With the Express Migration, customers get 2 options, a high density or a low density, and then we simply make sure they're covered with the number of instances, and it's a single SKU and really simple. Or with the VBE Expand, if your environment needs to grow beyond the 50 licenses, which is capped, they can keep the existing 50 licenses of Backup Essentials and expand it with Veeam Backup and Replication or Veeam Availability Suite at the normal price. The one caveat to note here is that the Backup and Replication Essentials perpetual licenses cannot be merged with the Backup and Replication Essentials VUL licenses. So just bear that in mind. So the promotion that Veeam currently has is an offer for existing customers to expand their footprint with a 20% discount for the AWS, Azure, Google, Linux, and NAS workloads. So you can protect new and critical workloads that you've never protected before at the lowest price and complement the socket-based licensing that you already have. So we often get, so how do we migrate? So this process is really simple. You determine the total number of VMs or instances that you currently require. This can be found on your server, or we can provide a log file that generates a log report that sends back to us that we can read. Once we know the number of instances, you simply select your preferred product. So whether it be Backup and Replication, Veeam Availability Suite, or if it's less than 50 instances, the Veeam Backup Essentials. And then you contact your preferred reseller to provide a quote, or contact your Veeam team to assist in getting that quote sent out to you, and we'll provide the most cost-effective options for you. With that, that actually concludes the presentation on Veeam Universal Licensing. So we're open for questions. If you haven't already typed them in the chat box, feel free to type them, and Edwin will assist in answering them. Edwin, have you received any questions?
No questions as yet. Let's wait a couple more minutes. Okay, we've received one interesting question here. I'll read it out. My licenses have expired. Can I still migrate them? Yes. So the answer would be yes. You can still migrate expired licenses. All you need to do is follow the earlier instructions, provide us with the existing license information and also the needed VM counts, and then we'll prepare the migration code to you. Okay, we've got another question. Can I migrate before my license is due for renewal? The answer would be yes as well. If your licenses are only expiring in 2023 or 2024, and if VUL fits your strategy moving forward, you can migrate them now. We will provide a migration option to you, and as well as you won't lose any existing investments that you have already made with Veeam. So meaning to say you will get to enjoy the new VUL licenses now if you were to migrate it now up to your existing expired date, and then the number of years that you'll be migrating to as well into the future. Okay, we have one more question here. Once migrated, do I need to reconfigure my VBR console? So the answer is no. Essentially, what you're migrating is just the license type from a socket perpetual to a VUL license. So from a installation perspective, all you need to do is just install the new VUL license into your VBR console. And then the VBR will actually accept the new license, and all the workloads will remain unchanged or unaffected.
All right, Edwin, I assume there are no more questions?
Yep, there's no more questions until now, yeah.
Okay, so I suppose what we'll do is we'll end the webinar now. If you have any further questions, by all means, let us know. We're very happy to assist in answering those. Thank you for joining the webinar today.